You're listening to Braless Watch, where a mother and daughter team offer their own opinions on watching TV through a feminist lens.
I'm Beth, the mom.
And I'm Lily, the daughter.
Welcome to Braless Watch, where TV watching gets a whole new perspective. Clothing is optional. How are you today?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about today.
Good. I'm glad you're excited. Did you have fun watching the show before we get started?
Yeah. When you laugh out loud at a show that is the intention is to make you laugh, then for me that's success, because I have such specific comedy parameters to make me laugh. I don't laugh at just anything.
That's very true. Also, just side note for our audience here, when I was listening to her watch it, because I was in a different room, she said, "I'm choking," and then said she was choking about a scene, and it scared the living shit out of me. But don't eat in the middle of a joke.
I mean, you can try. Yeah. So we're talking about Clean Slate today.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. It's a good show. It's a really good show. It just came out this year, 2025. It just came out. It's very new. Hopefully it gets renewed again. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm super excited about the show.
It's very light and
it can
heartfelt.
be. There's some serious
moments, but it's very light in general.
Yeah. The serious moments don't last very long, but they're very poignant.
They are.
Yeah.
But
and meaningful.
It's very good. It's a very good show.
Very well written. Very well casted. Like, yeah. From the start, it's good. Like, there's no spots that are like, oh, sometimes you have episodes that are like sleeper episodes, I guess, or
filler.
Yeah, filler episodes. This does not have that. There's a clear arc to the drama.
Well, part of that is because it's a streaming service show. There's no filler episodes because they don't. Well, so network TV, if you think way back when, network TV, they had to like 10 years ago. And beyond that, they had a set number of episodes to fit.
Yes, yeah.
They had a quota. Normally it would be somewhere between 22 to 26 episodes if it was a 30-minute show. Even longer shows had that same kind of quota. And so you would end up with filler episodes because you just ran out of things to talk about in the story.
Yeah, and you have to get around holidays and get around other issues with
shows
programming.
Avoided talking about holidays. Some shows embraced holidays. UK shows are very big about having their Christmas episodes. Yeah. Some shows didn't do it at all, or only had like one. I think Charmed, the original series, had only one holiday.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't a holiday. It was a Halloween.
Of course. That's apropos.
Right. Okay, let's get back to Clean Slate.
Yeah, because we could go in a complete rabbit hole of Charmed.
Oh, of course. But we're not talking about Charmed today. We're talking about Clean Slate.
Yes. I'm so excited to talk about Clean Slate because it lifts LGBT artistry. It lifts voices. It lifts everything. There's so much to it, and I felt very connected to this show. So
it does. Also, it's one of the few sitcoms with LGBT being the norm. It's not like...
Right.
It's not a drama thing. It's just there. Okay, now make it funny.
One of the reviews I read was the negative of it. And I was like, really? That's
This is why you don't read reviews.
So far, they've gotten really good reviews. But that was the one negative I read. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't be watching the show.
Exactly. The show is not for you if you think that's a negative.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't want to watch LGBT themes. Don't watch an LGBT show.
Right?
Duh. It's like complaining that Will and Grace is gay.
Oh, I was gonna say too liberal, but okay, yeah.
No, that Will is gay. Yeah, that's the show.
Right.
There's no conflict without the show.
Well, I also like, now that you bring up the word conflict, I really like that the LGBT theme isn't the source of conflict.
Correct.
It is literal, like, relationship stuff that gets ironed out, gets explored, all of that stuff.
It is. It's not the LGBT part. You're right. It's the vegetarian.
That makes sense.
It's the baptism. It's the yeah.
Which this is the other angle for the show, is that it's set in a southern state of the United States.
It's in Alabama. Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, that's where it's set. But again, that's just part of the cultural building, right, in the show, and where the lead character has to come home to Alabama. Wow, Alabama. See, you said Mobile and it got the E part. Yeah,
I know why.
My divergent brain just decided to take that in.
Took it in like a sponge.
It did. But yeah, the lead character has to come home to the southern states and from being away.
Being in New York
in the northern states, and it's a completely different culture. And there's some places where that culture mixes, right? In the storyline, and I thought that was very well done, very well executed. Just super impressed with this whole show.
Oh yeah.
So the history of this show is that
there's not a lot because it just came out. So.
Literally came out in February of 2025. George Wallace, who plays Harry, he pitched the idea to Norman Lear, who's a pioneer, I guess, in social. Norman Lear was the one who put social justice context and ideas into sitcoms. That was like his thing. So if you think back to the 70s, that's when it was really starting to take off, and that's where he got his big name. So that would be like One Day at a Time. He was the producer for that. He was a producer for All in the Family, Maude, Facts of Life, and then he was also the producer for One Day at a Time. The new one?
The new one.
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a producer for that.
He just died in December of 2023, so a year before this came out. But he greenlit this, and he was 101 when he died. Yeah. So the impact of this one man living on this planet, right, and especially living in the U.S. during the time that he has lived, the impact is pretty huge and this just speaks to what you can do with your own talents. So yeah, I had some of that already, and
sorry, did I take your thunder?
A little bit. I was just saying, Norman Lear is responsible for, I wrote awesome, socially conscious TV shows like Good Times Maude, All in the Family, and The Jeffersons. He left a legacy, though, in the Norman Lear Center, which focuses on nonpartisan research and public policy that studies the social, political, economic, and cultural impact of entertainment.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful of a sentence.
So Norman Lear still lives on.
He does, yeah, of course.
In what he believed in. So, yeah. So George Wallace brought a concept to Norman Lear and wanted to reboot Sanford and Son. Do you know what Sanford and Son is about?
I have not seen it. No.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest.
So it's an older black guy who owns a junkyard.
That I knew.
And has an adult son that helps him with the junkyard. They have conflict with one another. They barely get along in a lot of different ways, different time periods living and stuff like that. It's a comedy,
of course,
and of course there's strife and conflict between the two of them and social contexts and things like that, and especially around dating. It's really kind of cute, because the older Sanford actually lost his wife, and there's a lot of jokes around that kind of thing, and he's always joking about, I'm coming to see you, that kind of thing, making a big scene and drama about that.
George Wallace wanted to sort of reboot it.
Wallace wanted to reboot that. And Norman Lear's like, no, we can't do that. You got to bring me something with a twist. And so he got with Laverne Cox, and they then pitched this. And Norman Lear's like, okay, green light.
Yeah.
Got it done. So Laverne Cox is one of the creators.
Oh, but yeah. Slate. She was an executive producer, and you saw that.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's great. I think that's awesome that there was some representation and some a voice to come into Norman Lear's orbit before he passed away. It's like one last stamp of social conscious writing, social conscious entertainment.
Well, I mean, he was a part of the newest One Day at a Time too. So
yeah, but this has trans representation.
It does.
So.
The other one has a non-binary representation.
It does. Yeah.
And gay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Norman Lear, ahead of his time, basically.
Always.
Yeah. Okay, so more history. Do I have any
You have more history?
The only other thing I have is that Clean Slate was filmed in the state of Georgia in the U.S., not in Alabama.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. There's a filming location in Georgia.
Yeah.
Most filming actually happens in Canada, Georgia, or California for the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So Desiree is played by Laverne Cox. Harry is the dad of Desiree and is played by George Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Mac is Harry's employee and is played by Jay
Wilkinson.
Business partner. Opal is Mac's daughter, young daughter, played by Nora Murphy. Lewis is the choir director for the local church that they belong to, and is played by D.K. Azuku. Mm-hmm. Ella is Lewis's mom, also goes to the church, and is Harry's neighbor, and is played by Telma Hawkins. Hopkins.
I don't think Ella's a neighbor. I mean, she's not like neighbor. If that makes any sense. She's
within walking distance.
She's community member. I wouldn't say neighbor.
Yeah, they've been neighbors for years. You didn't catch that?
No, I don't think they're neighbors. Him and Miguel are neighbors. Harry and Miguel are neighbors, but Ella's not the neighbor. He drove to her house.
Oh. I thought they were within walking distance.
They might be like within walking distance, but he drove by her house in the first bit.
Oh, that's right. Huh.
They're not neighbors.
Interesting.
They're community
members.
members.
Now I'm combining that with the last scene, and I'm like, well, how did that work out? But okay, that's not for, okay. That is a personal issue I need to figure out. And then Miguel is a next door neighbor, and he's played by Philip Garcia. Well, that wasn't as smooth as I thought it was going to be. Sorry, audience.
Slow down. You're wrong. I do want to mention that the church is called Mountain of Hope.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm. It's written on the sign outside that changes.
Yeah. Very cool. Those are the main characters. There are a bunch of other characters, but
of course,
those are the main characters that get in the interplay with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But they're the main and secondary characters.
Yeah.
There's other tertiary characters. But.
Right. Would you like me to list the trigger warnings?
Oh, yes. Let's get through those.
Ugh. Yeah. Okay. So
it's actually not that bad, guys. She's making it sound terrible.
I mean, these are very nuanced. And I had a hard time picking through, and I was being very detailed with these. It's not your normal, violence, sexual content, smoking kind of situation. These are very nuanced, and these might end up triggering some other people, but it's worth noting. So in the first scenes, there is a depiction of animal death.
Oh, yes, with Miguel.
Yeah. Yes. So I just wanted to make sure I warned people for that.
I will say that you come to find out it's roadkill.
It is somebody else to do that. Yeah.
It's not him.
But it is depicted. It
is depicted as he does depict himself as the one who killed it. But
right.
That's a persona.
Yeah.
You find that out later.
Yeah. So animal death, relationship repair, which can be triggering, second chance representation, especially those that have been incarcerated, facing change and loss. So some grief work, single parenting, problem solving, which I found to be a little triggering actually, anxiety and mood regulation, mental health discussion, religious bigotry and judgment. I also found that one to be triggering. Heteronormative oppressive behaviors, lessons in consent, vandalism, alcohol use, crisis medical event, which was also triggering for me, oppressive voting practices, police profiling and racism. There's class and financial bias depicted. And then I wrote this, but I don't remember the scene, but it's unconsented physical touch and assault. And then social justice exhaustion.
Unconsented.
I know, I couldn't remember the scene, but I wanted to make sure I put it in here. So
what episode was that in?
I'm trying to remember.
What did you write that for?
I just watched it yesterday and I don't remember.
What? We've watched this twice now, and I don't know what the hell you're on.
I think it has to do with
could it be the handshake hug situation?
It might be that. There's a bunch of places where people touch each other without asking.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. It's the voting episode.
Oh.
where Harry and Miguel get into it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Harry's a dick in that episode.
Because he's trying to exert power and control over his community.
He also doesn't realize that things are changing, and Miguel's part of that change.
Exactly. Yeah, things are not warm between the two of them.
No. I like episode. Miguel, though.
But yeah, they definitely get into it. And also there's other scenes and other little vignettes that are depicted in that episode that are also physical assault.
Well, and also there is a couple times where Ella smacks him, smacks Harry specifically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. On the arm, not like across the face or anything.
Yeah, it's not violent. It's
no.
It's just depicted. And
it's more
to warn people.
Stop doing that, you idiot.
Yeah.
Kind of smack.
Yeah. Ella's actually my favorite character.
I like Ella.
I like them all, but Ella's my favorite character because she's got some sass.
One of my favorite quotes from the beginning, this will tell you who Ella is. She's talking to Harry. She brings Harry into her house because he showed up. And he says something about smelling pies or something from her oven. And she goes, "You go near my oven, I'll throw you in it."
Right? That gives you a sense of her sass.
I am done with you already.
That's great. Okay. Ready for some character stuff? Or maybe...
Yeah. Let's talk about
I have overall themes that keep coming up.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about those?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about some themes.
So I wrote that this show breaks it breaks types of biases, and basically has a theme of don't judge a book by its cover in many of the scenes, especially when mixing the characters that don't necessarily belong to each other. So
right. It really starts in that second episode with Lewis and Harry watching football.
Yes. Because
Lewis is gay. He's not covering it as well as he thinks.
Right.
And so Harry knows. And so Harry thinks that because of that, Lewis is not going to like football.
Right.
When in reality, he really loves football and he loves the opposite team. That's the conflict.
Right. And those kinds of layers pop up in different scenes all throughout. It's a thread all throughout. And it really is something to think about with your own biases and how you conceptualize. Oh, I know what kind of person you are, right? This sort of idea that you can judge somebody just on some information that you have.
Well, the judgment actually does. I just remembered it. The judgment actually does start in that first episode. So when Desiree goes to see Lewis at the church, when he's practicing with the choir, they sit in one of the pews and talk. Well, then there's this older lady who interrupts their conversation and asks if they're together, number one. Number two, then tries to set him up on a date with her niece, I think. And then it spreads throughout the town, all these different rumors. And it's 3 different rumors, and I wrote them all down. That Desiree is the pastor's new mistress down from Birmingham to make him leave Sandra. A spy from the Ebenezer Choir in Atlanta. Or a streetwalker that Lewis is helping find Jesus. That's all of she can't just be a friend. No.
It's gonna have this colorful story behind it. And this really highlights, this is the other thing that's really a theme through the whole thing, is it really highlights Southern culture, specifically Southern Black culture. Not that I've lived it, I'm a white lady from Texas, but I do understand some of the cultural references.
Well, especially because brought up. Small town.
Yeah, small town, small gossip, and church gossip, right? Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you don't partake in some of the
spread so fast
sinning that goes on. So yeah, it's this really good representation of that angle of the church and how sometimes the church is not necessarily the warm place that it purports itself to be.
Correct.
Yeah. So that was one of the themes. I don't know, you have anything else to add to that?
No, not to that theme, no.
Okay. The other theme that I clocked, I guess would be the right word, was that it highlighted an ethical attitude of it's their journey and their story to tell or not tell. And that came up a couple of times, maybe even 3 times, that, people hold their secrets on purpose because there is judgment in the world. And it's not it's not you. If you know a secret or know something about somebody, it's not for you to tell that to somebody else. That is gossip.
Right.
You need to allow the autonomy of that person to tell their own story, should they choose to, if you are privy to that and are invited in to that story. So yeah, I thought that was really cool to highlight that.
It even happens with Mac, right?
Yeah.
Because he mentions he's a convict, right?
Yeah.
He's a felon. And Harry's like, what? Wait, hold on.
He didn't know.
Of course he didn't know. He's like, that $2 background check is worthless. But Mac eventually does confide that.
Yeah.
It's an off the cuff kind of remark, but he does confide that into Harry.
Right. Yeah. But it also highlights the other side of it too. So Mac it wasn't valuable enough to him to say per se, but it also wasn't valuable enough to hide either. It just is a zero out, right? And this is how our world should work, that should not be othered or judged, that's an experience somebody else had. And if they're willing to talk about it, then they can talk about it. And if you're willing to be the listener, then that's a good place to be. Yeah. So yeah, it's just really cool. The whole show is like that. It's a really comfortable and warm place. That's how I felt about the whole show. That, and it made me laugh. So, because the jokes are really good. But yeah, it just speaks to the respect of autonomy. And we've lost some of that, I think, in recent years. So.
Well, because a lot of people nowadays like to put other people in boxes. And especially boxes that they like.
To make them comfortable. Yeah.
Rather than just letting people be who they are.
Right. And, handling your own uncomfortableness, which is the bias. Yeah.
But also, I think a lot of people don't take time to learn about themselves.
No.
To do the identity work, find their own autonomy.
Man, are you trying to wrap me into a rabbit hole? Because I could totally get down there.
I don't want you to. Please don't go down that way.
I'm resisting this right now. Turn around,
walk away.
Okay. And I don't know if we mentioned it before, but I'm a psychotherapist, so one of my special interests is identity work. Yeah. So you've mentioned it. This is super on my radar right now. Okay, so next I had costuming. Did you clock any costuming that was?
I clocked a few, but I wasn't super paying attention to that. I did notice like the Girlfriends of Grace.
Yes.
I noticed some of their costuming. I also noticed Desiree's outfit when she walks back into the church after the second time. Yes.
Yeah. Her first costuming was muted, right? And her hair was back in a bun, and she didn't wear a fascinator or anything like that. She didn't want to highlight herself, right? Everything was loosey-goosey shirt and sort of just this beigey color, and just really wanted to like basically blend in them with pews. But the second time she dolled herself to where she is most appropriate to herself, right? The costuming was to herself, and she has a certain style that she's portraying. So I just, it was awesome.
Some of the costuming is really good. Some of those dresses that Desiree wears are just great.
Yeah. And it's appropriate to what they're doing. Right. So, like when Lewis takes the ladies to go vote, and he's got this vest, and he's got all this, supplies in his cargo vest. Yes. Cause he's ready for these ladies.
Which they come in handy. Those supplies come in handy.
They do.
He also gets onto them for throwing things at him.
But if you'll notice that Ella, which is his mom, she's also wearing a vest that has. So he basically learned it from her. You go prepared, man. You go prepared.
Go prepared for everything.
So the costuming is really good. And even with the little girl Opal dressed appropriately, and
even all the girls at the birthday party.
It was
a Mardi Gras party. Excuse me.
Oh, Mardi Gras party. It was a birthday party.
No, it's a Mardi Gras party. It was a kid version, basically. That's why they do the cake and all that kind of stuff.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Which we can talk about the cake. I have miscellaneous information on that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Do you want that now? I can give it to you now.
I mean, sure.
So basically, what Juniper made Lulu do was something called Find the Baby in the Cake, in the King Cake. So Mardi Gras today is celebrated 2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks of festivities, but it ends up all the main event being on Fat Tuesday. That's what we think of as Mardi Gras, right? So the official season of Mardi Gras begins January 6th. It's also known as Epiphany in Christian tradition. Epiphany is celebrated on the 12th day after Christmas, and it's the day when the 3 kings are said to have arrived in Bethlehem to see the baby, Jesus, which is why you eat the king cake to try to find the little baby.
How interesting. Yeah. I grew up Christian and never knew that information.
And that's also why you're supposed to leave your Christmas tree up until January 6th. And then you take it down. That's the 12th day. Tradition dictates that once you find the baby, it symbolizes luck and prosperity for the next year. And that's why you're treated as the king or queen for the rest of the party.
Okay.
There you go.
Royalty. When you find the baby.
When you find the baby.
When you find baby Jesus.
When you find baby Jesus.
Okay.
In the cake.
That's funny.
But yeah. So, and of course, in this case, Juniper, there was no baby in the cake, and Lulu was forced to. I'm really glad Lulu threw up on Juniper. Just saying.
Right? I mean, it was good to put that scene in Opal's orbit.
Right. Because Opal needed a friend. That's not
Opal
an adult.
A friend. Yeah, that's not an adult that can bring her down to play, right? To bring it to be a kid, because there's so much adulting she has to do. I mean, one of the first scenes, she's like, yeah, that's my dad. I take care of him. Mm-hmm. That's a lot for a kid. And she's what, 9, 10 years old? Mm-hmm. So yeah, she really embodies that responsibility.
She does.
And she's portrayed that way too.
Well, and I feel like she's always had that. She's always had that responsibility because, as we find out, Opal was raised by her grandmother first, because her mom took off, her dad went to jail. And so when her dad got out, he started taking care of her. But of course, she's 10 and he doesn't know how to, raise a 10-year-old. Mm-hmm. So now Opal's like 11, 12. And so she's still just raising herself.
Mm-hmm. He's trying though.
He's trying. And he's doing a pretty good job.
There's some growth in that character, Mac's character. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So in the very first episode, I wrote where the dad is more angry about not knowing about being a vegetarian than coming home as Desiree rather than Desmond. That really... He was really upset because she doesn't eat meat.
He was more upset about that. He was very upset. Kept calling him fake ass wings.
Yeah, really. And Desiree made a comment about the local Piggly Wiggly, which is a southern grocery store down here. Local Piggly Wiggly actually had vegetarian wings, or
that shows signs
wings.
Are changing.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything changes, which we can talk about Harry real quick. He doesn't really like change, and you see that in the very first episode.
Oh gosh, yes.
Desiree walks in and goes, "This place has not changed. 23 years she's been gone. It has not changed at all."
Yeah, meaning her mom being gone. No, you mean
since Desiree left.
Yeah.
Her mom died when she was younger.
Right.
So
it was just her and her dad for a long time.
A few years there. Yeah. I don't know how long.
Yeah.
I don't think they specify.
No, I don't think so yet. But Desiree does highlight how Harry wasn't there for her in the ways that she really needed. Mm-hmm. And he has a hard time coming over that hump of, I provided a home for you. I provided food for you. I provided everything that you needed as far as the basic needs.
Right.
But emotionally. And
this is what a lot of parents have a problem with.
Yeah. Desiree highlights that. And she's like, I ended up dating men just like you, being emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's harmed me multiple times.
I mean, Gavin.
Right? The elusive Gavin.
The elusive Gavin who is in the shadows.
Yeah. So the other thing, I guess I could highlight what I liked about each episode, but
sure.
Since we're on episode 1,
let's talk about
the whole fight for me, the parental fight for me. Every child needs that, needs somebody to stand up for them in ways that are more meaningful than just slapping food on the table and making sure you have a decent bedtime, which is basic, right?
Right.
Or clothes on your back, at least even clean clothes on your back is also a basic need. So yeah. And being low income in the southern states, I don't know if this happens in the northern states, maybe it does, but I was a part of that culture. So I understand it, and I understand being
I think
emotionally,
it happens everywhere.
Yeah, being emotionally neglected, right? And so the whole fight for me scene was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
And it was really cute too, because he kept going, he first started, that's my son. No, my daughter. That's my daughter. And he kept yelling, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. I'm going to go get her. And then at first she was embarrassed and like, oh my, this man is not doing this right now. And then she's like, but that's my daddy. That's my daddy fighting for me. And then
he's trying.
Yeah. And then she finally came over and like shifted her thinking.
My favorite part of that scene is when she goes, hold my earrings to the white attendant, and the white attendant's like, what?
Right, because that's more of a New York, Brooklyn type. Or
just hold the earrings. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't say what.
Yeah, exactly. She had no idea. The white lady didn't have any idea. But yeah, it's very cool how that shifted their relationship in that moment. Even though it was physical and Harry was getting basically tackled by the security people. It was really funny. They used a really big, tall dude for one side, and the other one was a small, lanky little woman security person. And she's like getting ready, and she like shifts weight on their feet.
Yes, she does.
Getting ready for Harry to come barrel through, and then she just hops on Harry's back because Harry's 6'2" or whatever. And so yeah, it was really good. It was a really good scene, really well casted. The casting, the writing is just really, really good. Yeah. So the first episode really hooks you in that storyline.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Since we're just going to go through the episodes, I have my miscellaneous for episode 1 if you want it.
Sure.
So in episode 1, Harry also goes over and talks to Ella, right, at her house. And he says something about how there's no plastic on her furniture.
Oh, gosh, yes, that hit home for me.
So what he means by that is plastic furniture covers. Those were really popular here in the U.S. from the 50s to the 70s and even beyond that. They were used to keep furniture clean and hopefully make it last longer, especially because furniture was expensive. So this was very popular with African Americans, immigrants, and especially people who were very poor. They wanted to keep things to last as long as possible.
And it's her sitting room. I don't know if you noticed that he's like, wait, where are we? It's basically her front room, her sitting room, her receiving room, or whatever you want to call it. In those times, you reserve that for special company.
Right. That was not for like, it wasn't like a living room, right?
Right.
It's a sitting room where you bring people in, and you sit down and talk, and that's it. So normally those plastic covers would be taken off if it was special company coming over. Yeah. But since Harry just kind of showed up, she wouldn't have taken it off.
Right.
Except now Ella's like, you got to go with the times. Times have changed.
Right. So she just leaves them off now.
Now she just leaves them off.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that just speaks to the change that Ella's willing to do, right? Yeah. And she even makes, I think that's the scene where she even makes a comment about how Lewis isn't as open with her.
Hasn't talked to her yet.
And she lives with him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. And it's back to that theme of it's their story, let them have it, and Ella's like, you got to let her have her own story. It's not about you.
Can't force her.
Yeah. And that's a misnomer, I think, that that parents have, that their identity is wrapped up in their children. Like somehow they're children are an extension of their parents. And in some ways, biologically, that is true, right? That you come from two people's contributions biologically. But after that, it really is the cultural experience, the familial experience, the, how relationships are formed with you as, from babyhood all the way up. It really does. It's different, and you cannot impart yourself or imprint yourself onto your child like that. It actually harms them from being able to find themselves. Correct. This is where people lose their autonomy. Yes. And lose their identity. Well, it's one of the very first places where we learn how to do that. I actually had the conversation earlier. That you actually learn that it's an undercurrent cultural thing for, especially here in the U.S. I'm not sure everywhere else, but we learn to usurp our own autonomy, and we go, okay, you can have it, because you're going to care for it like you need to. We trust as children that the people who are supposed to love us and care for us are going to do it well, right? And to nurture that. And that always doesn't work out.
Right.
And it didn't work out for Desiree.
No.
So, yeah, we find out all the things about why.
So, episode 2?
Yeah, sure.
What was your favorite thing?
that Desiree just moved forward, even though Harry went, well, over my dead body. And she's like, well, can these tables go over a dead body?
Yeah, she just does.
She just blows through to the yard sale without, because she's forcing change on him.
She is. And that he doesn't like change. It's obvious. His house hasn't changed since the last time she was there.
Yeah.
So, of course, he doesn't like change. And so she's going to have to force it. She's going to have to force his hand a little bit.
Yeah, and it's forcing his hand to see the places where she wants him to fight for her. And this is one of the ways to fight for her is you got to move forward, right? You got to accept that change is inevitable.
Right.
You cannot hold on to the past. You cannot hold on to your things. Everything degrades. Everything changes. If you even leave it alone, it changes. So, yeah, you just get to choose how you navigate that change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was one of my favorite parts was...
See, one of my favorite parts of that episode is at the very, very, very beginning, before the credits roll. It's the little bitty, it's the opening credits, basically, or opening, that they're talking about that damn Last Soul of Supper.
Oh, gosh, yeah, the painting,
and they're complaining. She's complaining that it's not Beyonce in the middle,
right?
As Jesus. And he's like, Ray Charles is clearly Jesus, and you can't have no alive Jesus because Beyonce's still alive.
That's funny. Yeah. And then that scene too is a really cool little part where she's expressing herself.
She is. She's trying to express herself in
with
art.
Painting, with verbalizing. And then she says jar because Harry is still not used to saying she and Desiree, and ends up saying son or some other kind of misgendering. He
says son, daughter, damn it. And then puts money in the jar.
And George Wallace does so well in being able to portray that confusion and your brain power being able to shift, right? Because I'm older, I've had that expression. I still struggle with some of that sometimes, especially if someone has introduced themselves as one way, but then comes to me and says, I am shifting. This is now my new pronouns or whatever. It takes me a while to shift that. And I don't know if that's because I'm older and I come from a different culture or if it's just my...
I think that's just how brains work.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's just how brains work. Because especially neurodivergent brains. So being autistic, I get stuck on the one thing. I'm like, okay, that's the rule, right? That's how we do things.
And then you change the rule and fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And then you come back with new stuff and I'm like, oh man, no, I have to adjust it. Right. So yeah, there's that resistance to change thing again. So that was really cute to have the I don't know when it's just gender jar. I mean, I'm trying to remember
it's pronoun jar.
Pronoun jar. That's what it's called. Yeah. So it was really cute. And he just carries cash around, shoves it in the thing. She says something about retiring on the money that was going to be earned.
So I have a couple miscellaneous things. So when they're in the attic looking through stuff, they say something about Jet Magazine.
Yes.
So Jet Magazine was an African American magazine that was printed from 1951 to 2014. It's now completely online.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that it was
still a thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Still a thing. The original goal was to provide news coverage of African Americans across the U.S. That was the original goal.
Highlight Black American voices.
They were very big in talking about the civil rights movement and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As things came out.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm glad it's still around.
That's awesome. Also in episode 2, Desiree and Harry play the Welcome Back Kotter board game.
Oh, yeah.
I found it really interesting that they highlighted Welcome Back Kotter. That's a TV show from 1975 to 1979. But it's not produced by Norman Lear.
That is interesting.
Right?
I just thought it was a bunch of white people.
Right? Well, no, it's not.
It's not? Is there a black character in there?
It's mixed. That's the point.
Oh. Shows you what I know. I don't remember. I wasn't allowed to watch TV like that.
I haven't watched it because it was from the 70s.
I know.
I was not alive. I wasn't even thought of yet.
Oh my God.
You were not even thought of.
I was barely thought of. Yeah.
I don't even think they were married yet. Anyway.
Yeah. So the next one, are you ready for the next one?
Sure. Let's talk about episode 3. That's Opal's
day off
episode. That
is a little bit of an anxiety-inducing show. That little episode is a little bit anxiety.
I like that episode because it really highlights that sometimes punishment is not the way to go. Mm-hmm. Because Opal pushes somebody, Clarence Everett. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck is that his name? That's his first name, by the way. Anyway.
Southern names, especially Southern boys' names, have 2 names.
Yes. Have 2 middle names. Just put it in the middle.
Or just 2 names.
Or just
that's his first name. Yeah.
True. Anyway. Yeah. So she pushes Clarence Everett and then runs off. It's because she's really stressed. Mm-hmm. And Desiree is the first to notice that. Mm-hmm. That this girl needs a break. Desiree says, ambition is one thing, but Opal invents consequences of failure. That's no way for one to spend formative years.
Yeah. Or any of your years.
Right?
Yeah.
You just got to take breaks. You can't always go, go, go. You have to take breaks. Mm-hmm. And so this episode is really where she forces Harry, right? And then Mac forces Opal to take a break.
Right.
To relax just a little bit.
Go to a fair.
They go to like a state fair or some kind
and then one of my favorite lines is Desiree goes, I've created a monster. Watching Harry hit the whack-a-moles.
He's doing the whack-a-moles because he's talking about
Opal is watching and Mac's like, I think we have 2 monsters.
2 monsters.
Because both of them are stressed out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a really good one.
That's why I felt like it was such an anxiety-inducing one, is because I felt the stress from it.
I mean, there is stress, but you got to let it go.
Well, and that was the whole point of that.
That's the whole point of the episode.
Yeah.
In that episode, Mac tells Opal, did I just do a one to grow on you? Mm-hmm. So One to Grow On was an educational public service announcement that broadcasted after or in the middle of NBC's Saturday morning lineups during cartoons from 1983 to 1999. After that, it was replaced by The More You Know with the rainbow.
Ah, yes.
And the stars, yeah.
I think I would remember. I remember the little spotlights, but I didn't remember it was called that.
So normally it was a little animated 30-second thing, and then it would be like a live action sequence of a child facing an ethical dilemma, and then an actor would show the viewer how to solve said problem, and then the child would either own up to the consequence of the action or make an effort to rectify. That was the whole point. They were very short. And it would end with the actor saying, and that's one to grow on.
Ah. Okay. I'm surprised I don't remember that. But, I didn't. Yeah, me and my TV watching was a little.
Did you watch Saturday morning cartoons? No.
Rarely.
I don't think you did.
Rarely. Yeah.
Did you catch what Opal's elementary school is called?
No.
It's called Richard Wright Elementary. So Richard Wright was a African-American writer.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
He was born in 1908 and he died in 1960.
Oh, okay.
He was 52 when he died, and he wrote a lot about how racial themes and the plight of African-Americans during the late 19th century and mid-20th centuries.
Interesting. Love that detail was added. Because most Southern schools are actually named
conservative.
It's actually Confederates.
Yeah, Confederate, not conservatives.
Yeah, Confederates. Leaders. Yeah.
Episode 4.
Episode 4 was my favorite.
Episode 4 is really good. One of my favorite quotes is at the very beginning, and that's when she enters the church, and she sits in the back, and then they ask about being new, standing up, and
yes.
And everybody looks to Desiree, and Harry's like, what? She ain't new. She's just renovated.
Exactly. And then Ella gets up to go get her to come with the Ladies of Grace.
Girlfriends of Grace.
Oh, Girlfriends of Grace.
Girlfriends of Grace.
Yeah, and includes her in that
Yeah.
small little pocket group that's inside the church.
Apparently there's an age limit. There's like an age range that they have. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a comment made by one of the characters about the age being broken, the age range being broken because
of
Desiree was included. Yeah.
It was the pastor. He said it at the pulpit.
Oh, that's one of his first judgments then.
Mm-hmm. He makes a lot of judgments real quick.
A lot of assumptions, judgments. Yeah.
So what did you like about this episode?
That the whole theme of the episode, and I wrote this in caps, was to keep showing up and keep existing.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that there's a comment of consent, right? Because Harry and Ella both protest in different ways.
Yes, they do.
For Desiree's sake. When Desiree didn't ask for that.
Right.
Desiree didn't want that. And then they find their own way of protesting at the very end by creating that second line.
Yeah.
That's the way to protest.
Yeah. And then they apologized when they recognized they overstepped into her autonomy. And she didn't ask for that quote unquote help.
Yeah.
And support. Yeah. So
but she has this support team behind her that she didn't realize.
Yeah, and this is actually a lesson in parenting too, because your children will teach you how to parent them, right? Mm-hmm. And being in the LGBTQIA plus community, we can teach how to treat us if you'll listen, right? And this is a whole 30-minute-ish episode on that, right? On how you can step up and be an ally, a proper ally. And not overstep autonomy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to communicate your intention of how you will support that and get consent of the community, get consent of the loved ones that are in that community, right? Yeah.
Well, because she also says, Desiree says, if I let every microaggression become a dagger, I'd be dead.
Right. Yeah.
She can't let it have a hold on her. She doesn't have time.
Yeah. Well, no one has the emotional capacity to take that, right? Yeah.
Can't let everything affect her.
Right. And there's an act in rejecting that. Mm-hmm. And that in itself is an act of resistance, an act of protest, an act of, I'm here. You will listen to me. That I do exist, right? So yeah, this was my favorite episode of the whole thing because of that. It just speaks to my passion work that I do. So yeah. It just really highlighted a lot of things for me. And it got better. The show got better from here for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The writing got better. The social consciousness has got better.
Well, there's less awkwardness between Desiree and Harry after this.
Yeah. Yeah. They get closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
So episode 5, that's with the medical event.
Yes.
One thing I really liked about this was that the doctor came in, said something about how he has a big support system, and then verified that he was okay with her giving his medical information to everybody in that room.
Yeah.
That rarely happens, especially in TV shows.
Oh my gosh. And TV shows are actually in the room itself. With
right.
Yeah.
In TV shows, that rarely happens. They just come in and start
jibber jabbering to the people in the room.
We got to make sure to get the catheter up your
right.
Like, what? Don't tell everybody that.
Right. It speaks to though the understaffing of hospitals, and the bypassing of social norms or even consent autonomy that is not respected in hospitals. And it actually is more prevalent with both children and the elderly because they don't know how to. They're so vulnerable, right? And children, they don't know how to do it. And elderly, there's so much pain and and there can be confusion and dementia and things like that happening. So yeah, those are the most vulnerable populations in the hospitals to have their autonomy taken away from them and really actually weaponized against them. So yeah.
So I really liked that the doctor came in and verified that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then she flirted a little bit. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was really funny. We'll leave that to you guys to watch. But yeah, it was really funny.
So this is that episode is another instance of Harry not wanting to change.
Yeah. Yeah. Though when she lists the things on his plate when she's trying to feed him, Oh my God, so
that
funny.
food, it didn't look that bad.
It didn't, but we're vegans, so.
We are vegan, so I don't know if maybe it's that. I don't know.
I mean, when you have, I don't know how old he is, 65, 70 years old or whatever, and you have that many years of meat eating and potato eating and fried food eating and, you know, basically a diet of brown food, and you get this colorful green and orange and, you know, seed crackers and stuff. And he's like, what are you trying to grow plants? Like, what's going on
What
here?
is happening here?
And so, yeah, but he ends up eating it. He does taste it. And I was really, really happy to see that.
Well, and he does it later too on his own, not without Desiree's prompting, right?
Yeah.
He has a carrot on his own. He's like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can get behind this.
Yeah. So he does warm up to change, but
he does.
You have to get through the first 70 years first, and then you get the scratch down to the real bits of Harry.
So in episode 5, Harry tells Desiree to put her hands on 10 and 2 because she's trying to learn to drive.
Yeah.
Because she'd never driven before. She was in New York. She didn't need to drive. But that 10 and 2 is actually not accurate anymore.
Isn't it?
They want you to put it on 9 and 3. It's the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The reason is because when you're driving and you have it on 10 and 2 and the airbags go, you break your wrists.
Oh.
And you can tear ligaments and really just fuck up your wrists.
Yeah.
So when you're on 9 and 3, it's more likely that your arms are going to just come back rather than snap your hands behind you.
Wow.
Yeah. So 9 and 3, everybody, not 10 and 2.
Well,
9 and 3.
New fear unlocked. Thank you for that. Now I'm going to be mindful of where my hands are when I'm driving.
I mean, just noon it. You'll be fine.
Noon it. Then my elbow's broken if the airbag goes off. Okay. That's funny.
Anyway, also mentioned in episode 5 is advanced directive. Mm-hmm. So an advanced directive is the official term for a living will, which is basically outlines an individual's wishes for medical care if, for whatever reason, they can't make said decisions themselves.
Right. They're incapacitated.
In some way.
Yeah. And Desiree does a really good job of highlighting why she has one.
Right. Because
she doesn't tell him everything, but she does tell him enough to explain that it was warranted. Right. That her existence needs it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it just really highlights the othering she's experienced.
Yeah.
In this life. Yeah.
I also have one more thing on miscellaneous. It's about the Thigh Master.
Yes. I wondered if you were going to highlight that.
Of course I'm going to highlight the Thigh Master. So the Thigh Master was actually invented in 1960 by Dr. Anne Marie Benstorm and in Switzerland.
Wow. Okay.
It was for physical therapy. It was a specific thing.
That makes sense.
And then it was popularized as an exercise thing by Suzanne Summers in the 1990s.
Mm-hmm. It was her comeback. Yeah.
It was VHS tapes.
Yes. Yes. And Suzanne Summers is actually part of TV history because she was in Three's Company.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that.
Yeah. She played, it's not Chrissy, it's the other one, I think. I'm trying to remember her name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Suzanne Summers was a really good add to that cast. Anyway, we'll get to that show eventually.
Of course.
So one of the things that did happen in episode 5 that was maybe warm up to, we already knew that this was kind of happening, but sparks started to get fired up between Mac and Desiree.
Yeah, they'd already hinted at it way early before that, but
yeah, they did.
Then she catches him staring at her boobs.
Right.
Which, that's a really good dress, by the way. Just side note.
Her costuming is amazing.
That was a really great dress. But, you know.
Didn't she have popcorn?
She had popcorn down there. That's
he
why.
He was looking at the popcorn. Well, he says he was looking at the popcorn.
That's what he says he was doing.
Right. His eyes were drawn to her Bristol area due to the popcorn that had landed there. But yeah, there was a little bit of a thing there.
You also get a little bit more. We learn more about Mac over the time, right? And we also learn more about just the town in general. Mm-hmm. But Mac doesn't have any friends, so in episode 5, he gets with Miguel to do Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes,
which is not what Miguel would be doing.
That was such a great scene.
And then he also stands up for himself, right, in that scene because he can speak Spanish because he learned it in prison.
Yep. told them. Yeah.
Right?
Because they were the other characters at the table were trying to talk smack about him, and he's like
in Spanish.
And then this just that whole scene speaks so many layers because Miguel, who knew, plays Dungeons and Dragons.
And you find out he's putting up this whole bro act,
hunter. I'm a man. That kind of thing.
Because he was trying to sell his man caves.
Yeah.
But in reality, he's just a normal dork like everyone else.
Yeah. And so Mac goes over there to play Dungeons and Dragons and starts building friendships. Yeah. So and surprises them that he can speak Spanish.
So Opal gets a friend in episode 7, and Mac gets a friend in
episode 7.
Yeah. Because we had already talked about it with the king cake.
Oh, gotcha. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
Keep up.
Jumping around a little bit.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, the other episodes that come after get a little bit more social.
They do.
Justice-y.
So, like, episode 6 is all about the election and election suppression, right? Mm-hmm. Because they have an accidental polling place close, right? Mm-hmm. Put that in quotes.
More people come to the
freaking accidental.
Yeah. I love that they had voters mixed with white and black and Hispanic, and like all of them but voters were mixing together. Also voting political stances, right, were differently portrayed too. Some people were celebrating that they got to vote. Some people were there just gruntling through it,
I mean, I feel like most people fall in that latter category of just getting it done.
Right. It's my civic duty.
I got it done. I'm going to go home now.
Yeah. So, and then one of the best scenes is where Ella gives up and gives over her
everything to Harry.
Yeah. Her power or whatever, her leadership to Harry, and says, "Here, you do it." And then she goes home and pops herself into a hot bath with some wine and some bubbles and she's just self-caring it up. And then Harry catches her in there, and he's like, "Whoa, I didn't know I was gonna... How'd you get in there so fast?"
She's quick.
And she's like, "I'm effective," And then he, at the end of their conversation, he's like, "I got one question." And Ella's like, "What?" Like, she's rolling her eyes and like, "Just leave me alone, dude." And he goes, "Did you vote?" And she's like, "Damn it." Just to get out of the bath to go back.
Well, I want to talk real quick about that bathroom, because her bathroom is completely one color.
It is.
And that is very, what is that, 70s?
Yeah, 70s. 70s.
Because it's muted green.
It's that minty green.
Yeah.
With the avocado green edges. And it's tiled everywhere. Like there's tile on every wall. Yeah.
It's all the same green color.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Vintage. Very, very vintage. It's a wonderful bathroom, though. Yeah. Really good.
So episode 6 also has Nene Leakes come in. So Nene Leakes is an American television personality, and she's an actress, presenter, businesswoman, author, fashion designer. She's a bunch of different stuff. She first rose into prominence after becoming the breakout star in Bravo's reality TV show called Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's where she got her,
like her start
sort of. Yeah. So
I didn't know who it was. I'm old.
We also don't watch reality TV.
No, I don't watch reality. Not that kind of reality TV.
She didn't run for council or anything like she was what was being portrayed, but
okay, so she's just
that's part of the show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool though that there was representation in that respect too.
Because that was her
she
cameo.
did make a point to say these people think I'm just going to give over all this money to whatever organizations or whatever. She's like, that's not how I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the people and,
right.
and get that money back, So it was really cool. The statement was really cool. Yeah. I did want to highlight too that in this episode that Mac and Desiree have a very poignant conversation about.
Yes.
They play a little bit, right? They're playing Truth or Dare, and they're trying to get work done at the car wash, and they're just kind of hold the fort down while the others go and vote.
Yeah,
and do
because
that stuff.
He can't vote because he's a felon, and she's already voted in New York absentee.
Yeah, there we go. So they didn't need to be at the voting place.
No, they could. There was nothing they could do there.
Right. So they're holding down the fort at the car wash, and they have a good time until Mac asks Desiree out on a date, and then
he dares her to a date. Actually.
Oh, okay. So then that really, it rubs Desiree the wrong way in that she's already passed a judgment on Mac.
She does. Because she says something along the lines of, I deserve better than you.
I wrote it down because it was so painful.
Yeah.
I deserve way better than you. And I wrote, eesh, next to that.
I mean, that's...
my notes.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to say.
Yes. Oh, it was so hard to hear, too. And Mac was like, okay, that tells me a lot of things.
Right.
And he was done. He was fine with it. He's
good. He's done now.
Yeah. And he even asked her to take, not even worry about it, that act like it didn't even happen.
Right.
Yeah. And then they get out in the front and they start flirting back again. And Nini's like, you two doing it.
You're definitely doing it.
Yeah. Y'all together.
You're definitely doing it.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny. One of the other sticklers in that is that Lewis he didn't even get pulled over. A cop pulls up on them.
Yeah, because he had already stopped. He was loading the dialysis divas.
He was, yeah.
He was helping them get into the van so he could take them to the polls.
And the cop was like, I'm going to impound this vehicle because I'm suspecting that it's stolen.
Yeah. From his church.
Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
So
and this is supposed to be a cop in the community, right?
Right.
This is supposed to be somebody that knows the community. And this speaks to the disconnect that cops have with their own community, the people they serve. And also to the racial profiling that's so rampant. Right. Yeah. So that was super upsetting to watch that little blurb right there.
Yeah. That was really hard. So episode 7 is where they go to the fluidity ball.
Yes.
That was very fun.
That was fun.
It was very fun.
So it's interesting to me that Desiree made the point of, I deserve way better than you with Mac the episode before. And there's this sort of financial class kind of situation going on where Desiree's like, I'm above you in some kind of way. And then it gets turned around on her in this episode where she goes to the bar and the younger trans people are like, yeah, you old.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll show you 60 and starts drinking. She shouldn't be drinking, but she's drinking.
She told Harry that she wasn't going to drink so she could drive back home.
Right, yeah.
That was the whole point.
The whole night got derailed in so many ways.
In so many ways.
Yeah.
But I do like that Harry, the whole purpose of him leaving the parade, leaving everything was because he was worried about Desiree.
Well, this is back to him really embodying that identity of fight for me, right?
Right. And he was really worried because the streets are not safe for people like Des. That's literally the quote he says.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she was in a vulnerable place because she had drank alcohol, and he told her not to do that. And
at the same time, you also, when they first get in, and so Lewis is meeting James there too. Yeah. I don't know if you caught, she took a picture of him his ID and then gave Lewis a taser.
Yeah, so she has these parameters, this criteria she sticks with to keep herself safe.
And to keep her friends safe.
Right, and to keep her friends safe. And then she just usurped that on herself. She started self-harm behaviors, basically.
She did, because she didn't want to think of herself as old.
Right? Yeah. Again, this speaks to, I don't want to change. I don't want to be a part of change in that kind of way, right? It was uncomfortable for her.
That's not the change I want to be involved in.
Yeah. And it's really funny because Harry comes in and basically dance duels.
He does.
It's really cute.
It's very cute.
Oh, one of the funniest lines that made me laugh so hard was when Ella said, "You look like a."
I've got it. So when they were coming in to the party, because they weren't supposed to be there, but they were breaking in sort of, and Harry asked Ella with the masks on, "How do I look?" And Ella's like, "You look like a young Idris Elba," and Harry's like, "Really? No, you look like a Squishmallow with a face."
Yeah, exactly. It made me laugh so hard.
Oh, a Squishmallow ate your face.
Ate your face, yes.
I misread it. I'm sorry.
Let's just go from Idris Elba to...
Yeah. No. Come on now.
Harry was all willing to take that compliment.
He was like, "Oh, I'm Idris Elba." No. Come on now.
I really like Ella. I really like her sass. I don't really have anything else for that particular episode other than it was really funny when Desiree was walking with the horse and she's like, "How do you get your eyelashes to look like that?"
I've seen you in New York.
Right?
Do you miss New York? I miss New York.
Oh man, it just speaks to the ruralness of Mobile and how small it is, and
yeah, there's just this random horse,
right, just walking the street. Yeah,
who knows how long she was walking with said horse.
Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, it was an interesting little exchange, though.
Right. So the final episode is all about her second baptism.
Yeah.
And her trying to get rebaptized. I tried to look that up on doing a second baptism, because some Christian religions do it. They do it multiple times. Yeah. And then some don't. It's one and done. Yeah. So it just depends on your denomination, and it also depends on your pastor, priest, whatever.
I was going to say, I think that probably depends on the actual church.
Yeah. It just
depends. The actual congregation, church, pastor.
It really does.
Yeah.
I didn't spend a lot of time looking it up, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the Christian church, in the Nazarene denomination, and I can tell you from experience that pastors can use their quote unquote power for good, as if, superpower or whatever, and then just like in real life, they can also use it for wrong, right, and do harm. And that, I think that was kind of the comment being made here.
Well, they make that quote with Mac in episode 4. Mac says it's just sad when people use the pulpit to spew hate.
Yeah. Basically. And which is interesting, because we come back later and find out Mac has been
being a pastor at the prison.
He's been a pastor. Yeah.
He's
been a religious leader.
Yeah, sort of.
So, yeah, I mean, he can speak on that, right? From experience, both being a leader and being a part of a congregation. He can speak on that. So, yeah, it does happen, and it's unfortunate. And there are churches that will let you baptize multiple times, and, depending on where you are in your life.
Well, and it also depends on if you're switching denominations too. I did see that.
Yes.
Some don't transfer.
Denominations or even actual religions, right? You get baptized into.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? There was going to be something. I lost my thought. Okay. Thank you, neurodivergent brain.
You're welcome. I probably did it to you.
Yeah, I had it and then I lost it. It had to do with switching churches or whatever, but.
Okay. But yeah, this episode's really
I remember
good.
what it was.
Oh, okay.
Baptismal records, especially here in the southern states, back in the day, that was part of your birth record, right? So it was actually part of your you had government record, but then you had your
church
community record.
Yeah.
And because we had towns that were so far apart, it was actually really important to keep baptismal records, because that was kind of a census.
Right.
So historically, they're important records, and I would imagine genealogists, you can correct me guys, but genealogists actually go back to baptismal records to make sure that there's a correlation or a cross-reference for other records like census or government records and things like that. So they were super important way back when the country was being formulated.
Yeah, they're not super important now, but I did want to highlight that Desiree says something about how she had changed her name in 28 places, and that's the one place left.
Yeah. That speaks to the challenge of
just changing your name. It doesn't matter if transgender or not. Changing your name.
Changing your name. Yeah, even
women do it all the time for marriages.
Well, that's the most common, right?
That's the most common, but that's a lot of places to do it, and that's why people don't do it anymore.
Well, and
they're reducing it, at least.
There are people that are estranged from their families and have chosen families, and they change their names for that reason. I know some people that have changed their name both to be removed from their family in a electronic way, so cybersecurity, and then also because they don't want to identify with the abusive family. Yeah.
But
so, there are many reasons, and you don't have to be LGBT to engage in changing your name.
It's just a lot, and that's why I was like, why would you?
Well, I mean, that just speaks to how many places want that information.
Right.
So, yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I do like the addition of Betty in episodes 7 and 8. I really hope she comes back. If it gets renewed, I really hope she comes back.
I think it speaks to Desiree making friends and connecting with that community. There was a scene right there at the end where she was typing in the computer art jobs or art
she was
something.
trying to,
art galleries in Alabama.
because she had accepted that this isn't a temporary stop anymore.
Right.
Because that's originally what it was going to be.
Right.
And she just accepted that this is not a temporary stop. I'm going to stay here for a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. One of the things that highlighted in this particular episode was the social exhaustion.
Yeah. So I have Betty's quote that she says to Desiree after Desiree says, "I'm spent."
Mm-hmm.
Betty says, girls like us spend a lot of time fighting for space. Lord knows plenty of people won't give it to us willingly. But sometimes, especially when you're feeling lost, the best thing you can do is go to where you're wanted.
Right.
Get what you want.
Right.
Which I found great because she does end up going where she's wanted, right? At the car wash.
She knows where she
goes to the car wash for the baptism rather than going to the church where she's not.
Yeah.
So car wash is where she's wanted.
Yeah.
She's not wanted at the church. Fine. I don't need it.
It also was highlighted that she went to Max instead of her dad's.
She did.
And then her dad's like, "You are wanted."
Yeah. He says, "Listen now, I know you're tired. I can't even imagine what you have been going through in the last 23 years, but you're home now and you don't have to fight anymore. Even this baptismal tomorrow. That sounds like another fight.
Let's not go."
Yeah.
Just for the audience's perspective, we're both tearing up right now.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's written so well.
Well, I mean, that just speaks to the nurturing and the sense of warmth, the emotional warmth that every person needs. Every human needs that. And even if you've been neglected of that for 23 years plus whatever, it doesn't matter at what point in your timeline that you get that. Once you get that, it's hard to not fight to keep it.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So social justice exhaustion is actually a thing.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
And this is why you have to take breaks.
You do. Yeah.
You
Anyone
have
who's
to
in
take
advocacy
breaks.
work has to do that. Yeah. Or even living this life.
Just living life nowadays, advocacy or not, you have to take breaks because for some of us, many of us, just existing is advocacy.
Yes. Yes. That is the sense of resistance, is just existing. So stay with us, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's a good note to land on.
Yeah. Because there's no inequity perspectives that we found.
There aren't. Yeah, no. We didn't have any inequity stuff. The casting was well done. The cultural references were well done.
Costuming's real good. The writing's real good.
Yeah. Representation of ages, different. And there's no ageism. There's no. Yeah.
They did really well with this.
Yeah. Even the racism that is highlighted is very short.
So there is some racism with a little bit with Harry to Miguel.
There is. But even that gets softened over time.
A little bit. I feel like they should do some more the next season.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. Because Miguel kind of highlighted, I think Desiree's going to be the buffer for that.
Because of course. She's been the buffer the whole time. I mean, they did the whole belly thing on the porch, exactly. The belly breathing on the porch.
That was fun. And then asking for what you need, right? Yeah, this whole exercise.
What do you need?
It was basically a therapy session.
How can he get that from you?
Right. But I think both Miguel and Harry understanding that they're more than the sum of their parts, basically,
right.
And trying to see that there are layers to each of them that they don't see, that there's this assumption that's clouding how they can be friends and neighbors. Yeah.
Neighborly.
Yeah. And
don't even have to be friends, just neighborly.
It was starting to melt, like the iceberg was starting to melt between them through this season.
A little bit,
yeah.
Very little, because when we get to episode 6, and that's one of the last times we see Miguel.
Yeah, I think Miguel just really wants to be seen and heard. And Harry is really stuck in his ways about that.
I mean, his neighbor who lived in Miguel's house before was there for 38 years. Miguel's only been there for 2.
Yeah. So Harry's got some grief to work through.
He does.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to add to this?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
It was good TV.
Highly recommend this show. Very fun.
Good TV.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Take a breath. All right, everybody.
Keep up the kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Love
up the
yourself.
compassion. Love yourself. And exist.
Just exist. Keep existing.
Exist to resist.
Okay.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Okay. Maybe that could be part of our merch.
Maybe resist to exist. No, okay.
Resist to exist doesn't make sense. Exist to resist. That one makes more sense. All right, everybody.
Thank you for joining us today.
Hold up. I have an update on Clean Slate. So when we recorded this, it was soon after Clean Slate had just come out. I think it had been out for about a month or so. And even though it had great reviews, including from us, Clean Slate got canceled by Amazon Prime as of April 2025. We were hopeful that it would get elsewhere, continue on, but it just didn't, as our society changed. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. It breaks my heart to hear about this particular cancellation of a TV series. I'm personally offended. I thought this show was exactly what our society needs right now.
It is.
It has representation of how people can positively coexist with one another across generational ages, across cultural differences, across religious differences, and across ideas about gender and sexuality. I deeply think and have the utmost respect for the creators, staff, production team, and actors that made this TV series possible. And I'm sincerely saddened by the cancellation of such a remarkable show.
Yes, we really are.
I can only hope that the cancellation does not dim the inner light of positivity that the people who were a part of the final series compilation offered, and the audience will be gifted with other iterations of the genre and this show embodied.
I mean, there's always a chance that this show will get picked up elsewhere.
I'm gonna hope for that really hard.
We can hope, but as of right now, Clean Slate was canceled, and so season 1 is all you're gonna get. But it was a good one.
It was awesome.
Great representation.
Yep.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.